Welcome to Back to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago. I am Jay Alonso, and my man is back. My partner in crime is back.
Oh, yeah. Know y'all been waiting on me. Feel like Jordan in his prime.
Man.
After he came back from retirement.
K. Williams, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? I'm just chilling, man.
You was under the
Feeling
weather, I
better.
see. Yeah. We miss you over here,
24-hour bug. I was dying for 24 hours.
Shout out to last week's guest, the great and the always hilarious Jace Battle. We will have him back on very soon. But, Kay, we're switching it up, man. This is the last episode for 2016. Are you ready for 2017?
As long as this shit ends up better than 2016, yeah.
2016 has been a shit year. Oh, I mean, there were some pluses. I mean, we did start this show, so there's a plus.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely was some pluses.
Yeah.
It was, couple of changes that had to be made throughout life.
Yeah, absolutely. Had to just take life for what it threw at you and just make lemonade. We got Trump as a president. Shit. yeah. Especially with these last, month. We got rest in peace to Carrie Fisher. Now rest in peace to Debbie Reynolds. Rest in peace to George Michael. Rest in peace to Muhammad Ali. It's just been a death sandwich, man, this whole year. It's like 2016.
Hold on. Did you say Muhammad Ali?
You don't remember? He died in February.
Okay. So I'm thinking you talking about this week. You talking about over the 2016. I'm with you. I'm back on track. I'm a little slow sometimes.
I kind of flipped it when I named the last three, and then I went straight back to Muhammad Ali. So that was way back. But rest in peace to them. It's been a shitty year. But overall, we are blessed to be with you guys. The last episode of 2016.
We going out with a banger today.
We gonna set it off.
On some thugged out shit.
Pun intended. We decided to listen to the listeners on this one. When we first started this show, and we were kind of just getting the opinions of our peers, and we asked them how they feel about it, and a good majority of them would say, hey, you know what, when's Set It Off coming out? And we'd be like, technically, by the calendar of the show, we like to put the movies that came out of that year, almost to the week of now present day. So so Space Jam was a week later after Set It Off. So essentially we missed that time frame. However, the listeners, our great listeners, they kept saying, listen, when's Set It Off coming? So we decided to switch it up. We're going to do our first listeners request episode. And what better way to set off 2017 than doing Set It Off?
That's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that, bro. Because, in Set It Off, it was a little emotional. Like, I don't know if the emotion of the movie is the end of 2016, or if the thugged out shit is the beginning of 2017, or is it backwards? Is it the thugged out shit of 2016 to an emotional 2017?
I think it's the closing of an emotional 2016 to thug it out in 2017. It's like a reverse.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm with you.
Okay.
So we're going to thug out 2017, but today will be emotional.
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie. There is a scene in this movie, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be in my takeaways. But every time I see this scene, it chokes me up. But we'll get to that later. You ready for 2-minute drill?
I'm ready, man. Let's get this going.
All right, 2-minute drill is the part of the show where myself and Kay, we will rapid fire questions back to each other to make sure that we both watch the movie that we are talking about today. The person with the most...
Even though I think you win all the time.
I know my shit, Kay, but whatever. But the person who gets the most right in this quick rapid fire game gets to kick off Real Talk, and that's how we do things over here at Back to the Classics. Kay, are you ready for 2-minute drill, brother?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it. 2-minute drill starts now. What's the cross streets of the motel Luther was hiding at?
It was 55th and 9th Street.
Damn, that's good.
What did the AP stand for on the back of Darnell's head?
Oh, I know the hood. It's Acorn?
What the P stand for?
I know from the detective's mindset, he's saying it's called assholes, perhaps, but I don't remember what the P stands for. Projects?
Yeah.
Do I still get that? That's me, right?
You get that. I give you that.
Yeah. All right, cool. How much money did the girls get away with in the first robbery?
$12K.
Okay. You've seen this shit.
Oh yeah, this is my joint. What was the name of the first bank shown?
First bank shown?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking the first bank to get robbed?
The first 5 seconds. What was the name of that bank?
I don't know.
Pan Pacific.
Damn. Alright, we got 30 seconds. Okay. What's the name of the final bank robbed?
Downtown Federal.
Good.
Who did Queen Latifah look like when the girls got high?
Like Sugar Bear. Name the actress playing Strode's partner.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got that one. I don't know.
You sure?
I got one for you.
Ella Joyce.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why did TT Pay get docked?
Shit Rotterdam.
She didn't empty the trash in room 104. He docking her pay.
I'm docking it. Yeah, pay. Yes. Oh, Luther, you sleazy son of a bitch. But alright. Well, from the looks of the scorecard, I got one wrong. You got one wrong. And the rest is alright. So, in a sense, we are, tied and all. So, we'll let this be a gentleman's thing. I will actually kick off the facts, and then you can hit off with the actual notes. That sound good?
That sound good.
You damn right. Let's do it, man. Listen, this is for you. Our first listeners episode. We're so happy. Set It Off. Original release date, November 8th, 1996. It opened by itself. It was released 1 week after Ransom and 1 week before Space Jam, a BTTC movie. Domestic gross, $36 million on a budget of $9 million. Currently sitting at a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. That should be higher. That should be higher.
I agree.
Let's get into real talk.
So the movie started out so lovely, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's the opening bank scene. You got Lorenzo and his boys. They cracked out.
Super. Go
into the bank. They see your girl Frankie at the desk. Vivica Fox played her role so well because she was like, what you doing here, Darnell? I don't never see you outside the hood. Like, what you doing in here? I didn't know you had an account.
But it's something about it's something about Dub C, who plays Darnell, by the way. Like you didn't know who Dub C was prior to. But did you realize when he's asking for the money, he's
he ain't move his lips. He was trying to ventriloquist it.
It was like he was shooting spit air at his teeth, like at the back of his teeth. Love that part. That was a great part.
Hey, I think what did it for me in this scene is while they're getting robbed, everybody's getting shot up. You got two dead security guards.
You got
the teller at the front. Her brains done got blown all out on Frankie. And that scene did it for me. I loved it. Then you got Frankie sitting in front of the police and her manager, and she get fired.
And I thought, and that was before we actually got the title Set It Off. I was like, oh shit. Like, F. Gary Gray, even back then, could just shoot an opening to just anything. You know, like when it comes to the music videos he directed. Damn, Friday, you know, which was his first movie. Just the way it opens, he sets the tone for what this is gonna be, and set it off. It just starts with such a, you know, a gritty tone, you know, and that's what Evan Gary Gray was just so good at doing. Is very good at doing.
I agree. He's definitely a beast at what he does.
That's when we get to meet Detective Strode, played by John C. McGinley, and his trigger-happy boss hog partner, played by Ella Joyce,
who wasn't that cute to me.
Who, Ella Joyce?
Yeah, she wasn't that cute to me in this movie.
Oh,
you so hurt by it. You was like, oh,
yeah, because you know I've always viewed her as Rock's wife on the Rock sitcom. You know, so she was cute to me. She was a bad mama to me.
Yeah, in this she wasn't.
Yeah, in this she was just nasty. She was just nah. Like you said, Frankie gets the judgment from the boss simply because she knew them. She didn't know they was going to rob the bank, but she knew them. And based off that alone, you got to lose your job.
Gots to go.
That didn't make any sense to me. I mean, in the actual working world, that same thing would actually happen. But once again, you set the tone. Like, Frankie got fired for really no damn reason. The fact that she knew them, she can't help who she know. I believe that's a line in the movie. She can't help who she know.
Mm-hmm. It was.
So they fire Frankie, set it off. There you go. And then we get to that cracking ass 70s graduation party.
It was off the chain. The graduation party, 70 theme. It's Stevie, who is what's his sister name? Stoney's brother.
Yeah.
Stoney played by Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett is so damn gorgeous in this movie.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Me and a partner of mine, we actually had a debate earlier today because I told him we were doing Set It Off. And he goes, which movie was Jada Pinkett like the finest in? Is it Set It Off or Low Down Dirty Shame? And I personally think that's just an unfair comparison simply because her characters in both movies are entirely different. In Low Down Dirty Shame, Jada was bad.
She was, as Peaches.
But in Set It Off, you know, she's hood fine.
But I think you got two more to add to her fineness.
Okay, hit me with it.
You got Jason's Lyric.
Oh, shit. You're
where
right.
She was the soulful fine. Like she should have been on Water for Chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Shout out
and
to
then
Water
you
for
got,
Chocolate.
And then you got Woo.
Oh, yes.
Where she was the ratchet but classy fine.
Okay. Well, you can't forget Carla Purdy in Nutty Professor. You can't forget that either.
True.
Carla Purdy was fine.
But let's get back to the movie.
Go.
So, you got the graduation house party for Stevie. He feels a little sad, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't even want to say sad. He's more disappointed that people really don't know. This graduation party is for him getting ready to go to college, and come to find out,
he ain't get in.
He not getting in because he ain't get the scholarship. And, you know, that put weight on Stoney, because Stoney's like, well, shoot, I'll come up with the money. Don't even worry about it. Enjoy this party.
But before we get to that, and that's true, she does say, enjoy the party and all that. But the next scene, that's when we get our first taste of Luther. And Luther represents so many asshole employers I've had in my life. And I'm like, if I had a boss like Luther, I would knock him the fuck out. I'll take that fire today.
Damn right.
Yeah, I'll take that fire today. That's all right.
That's an L I'm willing to take.
That's an L I am more than willing to take.
If you don't want to work for Luther's janitorial service, who you supposed to be? Your motherfucking Mighty Morphin fucking Power Ranger? It's three people I don't fuck with. The I, the R, and the S.
Nigga. Now you can throw out the Stoney having to do what she has to do. And Stoney 100% proves what a sibling does for another sibling. You know what I mean? Like, me and my brother, we are 10 toes deep, strong together. You know what I'm saying? And Stoney represent that. And she had to do what she had to do. And that part, first of all, we actually see Nate Andrews, and he just looks like scum when he's walking. You know what I mean?
He do.
He looks like straight scum. First of all, he's in a neighborhood that he know you don't belong in.
He look like somebody's sugar daddy.
He looks like a sugar daddy. And so, I mean, the motherfucker wouldn't stop smiling. You know?
Right.
He got this big shit-eating grin and knows that Stoney's in a bind, and knows the only way that he can get Stoney out of that bind, Stoney got to give up some nookie.
Oh, yeah. She gonna give up that cookie. We find out about Nate.
Mm-hmm.
We know his proposal. Stoney proposes to him. She won't work for him at his, what did he own? Dealership? Car dealership?
Car dealership.
But she need a little extra early. So he was like, you know what you gotta do? You gotta slut that butt. You know, and I'll go ahead and throw some change your way. And what she do? Being a good sister, slut that butt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll let my sister do it, but, you know, she slut that butt. Definitely get the bread, and then, you know, later we find out her brother Stevie ain't even get accepted into school.
Well, but before you get to that, going back to her slutting that butt, and the actual scene when the camera pans down, you see Nate giving it his all, and she just looks incredibly just icky, and it's like, from a viewer's perspective, that scene establishes who Stoney is. She is a woman about persistence. She's a woman about doing what she got to do to make sure family gets ahead. Like, she's about making sure her brother gets the fuck out of that situation. And you commend her for that, for sure, because you feel for her when she's sitting there and she's just, ugh.
Now, let's go a little further in that, okay? The one thing about that scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Stoney is, of course, slutting this butt,
mm-hmm.
Did you notice she didn't move at all? She may have flinched once or twice. Now, that seemed like a problem to me. Because I'm like, if this going to be a sex scene, why he suck? She ain't getting no kind of love.
That's kind of the point, man. Nate Andrews is a greasy, old, nasty man. You know what I'm saying? So it's supposed to be an uncomfortable scene, you know? But
that was very uncomfortable.
But I love how, like, when the next scene pops up, which is basically them four on the roof, and they're, you know, they smoking and they kind of just, you know, talking about, hey, how about we rob a bank? You know what I'm saying? And Stoney,
yeah, the first initial chat about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you show their camaraderie, and, you know, at that time, women robbing banks were kind of unheard of. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but it was just, women robbing banks was like, no, that's not what they do. No, that's weird, you know? But when you see them, you know, sitting up there kind of just, you know, talking about it in the most, you know, just random conversation of ways, you know, they're putting together a plan to possibly rob the bank, but then Stoney's not with it. But Frankie is with it. TT needs help, but Cleo's with it. You know, it's just you see how they can, you know, agree and defer at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
I like how it shows the actual characters and their interaction with each other, and their chemistry together is actually great.
This is what I liked about this scene is, you know, you got Cleo. Well, before they got to the rooftop, they were outside on the ground, I guess, in front of the projects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they were talking. Cleo's the main one hyping it. You know, she talking about how Lorenzo and them then walked away with $20K from the bank.
And then them fools is crackheads.
Right, and they some cracked out fools. And then we meet Ursula,
mm-hmm.
Cleo's silent girlfriend, who's a mute. Ursula ain't had not one word. She ain't said not one word that whole
movie.
She got paid for no words. I want her job.
She's literally there to be a prop for Cleo.
Literally.
Okay.
But, you know, they talked about that. I think that was the moment where you figured out, all right, Cleo's gonna get them rallied together to get this popping. And then, of course, you go to the rooftop where they smoking out, and they talk about how Cleo looks like Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear.
They wish things were the way back in the day, how it used to be. The plant was paying people $15 an hour to work there, and they don't get paid nowhere near that much. And then we cut scenes to later on that night. She drops that bread on Stevie, and Stevie like, man, I ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it. I ain't even get in.
He didn't even get accepted.
And Stoney was more mad at the fact that you could have just told me that from jump. You ain't have to lie about nothing.
Like, what she had to do to get the money. I'm like, you go back to Nasty Nate. It's like,
Yeah.
So with that scene being as wild as it was, the fact that what she went through prior to get the money. But the next scene is crazy because they have the little powwow. He breaks out, but he happens to be cool with what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name right now. He's in Menace to Society. He's in Don't Be a Menace. He's in the Players Club. Pretty much playing the same nigga in all
I can't think of his name, but yeah, he the one that got stomped out in Menace to Society.
He's the same dude in every movie. Like, I don't care what's going on in real life. If I ever seen this dude in real life, I don't trust that nigga. I'm not gonna go nowhere near him.
Yeah.
But Stevie knows dude. He pulls up, for whatever reason, Stevie sees the AP haircut, thinks it's hot, and he want one of those too. So he hooks him up.
I want one too.
Yeah. Hey, bro, that's a nice AP haircut there. You want one? He ain't from Icorn.
Hey, you know what I liked about this scene though?
Mm-hmm.
Old girl looks like the same chick that played on Baps.
No, but you know what that is though? That's actually I'm gonna completely butcher her name if I can remember it, but she played Andell on the Parkers. I forgot her real name.
That's her?
That's her. God bless the dead. I cannot think of her name for the life. Oh, Yvette Wilson. There we go. Yvette Wilson. That's who plays that chick. But she's also Andell from the Parkers and other stuff as well. May she rest in peace. After kicking it with old boy, Stevie's, he's taking off, and obviously the police got the drop on where the guy stays at. So by the time Stevie's walking down the way, out comes the police drawing up on him. He gets, he hits the floor in the movie that you know for a fact is gonna come. He goes for the bottle to be like, this is a bottle, it's not a gun. And then of course the trigger happy LAPD, they light him up.
They didn't just light him up. They wet him up. Half of it came from the bullets. The other half came from the broken champagne bottle he had.
Exactly. So when Stoney and Frankie and TT and Cleo make it to where, Stevie's body's at, that scene is hard to watch because, they've gone through enough. Like, Jada's already slutted that butt to get the money. Stevie didn't get in anyway, and now Stevie did. So it was another scene that was tough to watch. However, that scene, that moment inspired them to go rob some shit.
And then they go and case the bank. They go and case Downtown Federal.
Mm-hmm. And that's
where we meet
Mr. Slick Grease Oil Bag himself.
Go mob to the bros.
Yeah.
Blair Underwood.
Listen, I like Blair Underwood. I think he's a great actor. He couldn't have been more greasy in every scene he was in this movie. I mean,
he just wanted to make sure he had them waves popping.
Them waves had me ready to drown, bruh. I was like, bruh, oh my God. The gallon of water on them waves is ridiculous right now.
I'm saying, man, you gotta show how, he was smooth, he was well educated, he was an investment bank manager. He ain't even know what the people on the ground floor did. He was just making that shit up as he go.
Hey, I did the same thing.
I ain't gonna lie, I would have too.
So of course he shoots his shot with Stoney, and Stoney gets his number. And this is when TT takes his son to work.
They did get on her for a second, but it's all their fault.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, TT, what you doing? If Luther see you in here with that baby, he gonna kick your ass.
He'll kick your ass.
And she was like, well, I ain't got no money for a babysitter. My question is this. How much is y'all getting paid, first off? And then secondly, where your money at? Is it all going to rent? Because you ain't got a car.
I mean, it depends on what Luther was paying. Luther might not have been paying shit. So...
And that's what I want to know.
Hey,
because I know this is old, and they was like, yeah, $15, that's some good money. You know, $15 back in 96 was like... Yeah,
it was some good money.
I'm wondering, are they getting paid at this moment like bartenders and waitresses, like $2, $3 an hour?
If that is, Luther needs to be sued because he didn't. That's terrible. That's just full blown terrible.
Right. We go ahead and we watch the scene, and TT done brought her son to work. Her son playing in the chemicals. He done got poisoned. Mm-hmm. Now, naturally, they take him to the hospital. They call the ambulance. He goes to the hospital. She loses her son. Mm-hmm. And this is TT's turning point.
Well, she's ready to go rob some shit.
And do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm. I got to set it off in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. And TT, I'm going to say this early. TT is the MVP. Yeah. No, I'll give her the most improved. She was the most improved player.
All right, well, we'll get to that. Now, this is when we meet Black Sam, played by Dr. Dre.
Doc Dre.
And who's never, I believe, has never even been remotely in that situation at all. But for the sake of the movie, I like it. I'll run with it.
Oh no, he was definitely on that NWA tip when he did this.
All right, whatever. So anyway.
So, either that or Death Row. You pick one.
Whatever.
He was either with Easy or he was with Suge.
Hey, K.
Where he played this role.
Hey, K. Whatever. So, Black Sam is a gun runner. And so, knowing Cleo, him and Cleo go back. Cleo used to boost cars for Black Sam. And... he got, he hooked Cleo up with some things, because, she needs something she could set her off with. And gave her some pistols to, go knock off the first bank. Which is a cool scene, because where is Black Sam's whole setup located at? Like, where in LA do you got this going on at?
In a garage. That was it looked like a parking garage.
Yeah?
He had way too many poles, or a factory, one of the two.
And a shooting range.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. At this point now, we get to the very first robbery, right? And Cleo boosts the car, and her whole thing is she got to throw out whatever tables in that person's car because she can't ride unless she got some vibe music to ride to. I feel her on that too. I feel like if I'm going to rob a bank, I need something to get me pumped. I can't just be...
Right, you need some in the mood music.
Yeah, because you know what it is? If you turn on the radio, just get some music in your head, but the first song that comes on is like fucking Drake, like, I don't need this right now. Not right now.
Yeah, I can't rob no bank to no new friends.
Yeah, I don't need fake love right now. Not right. I need like some MVP shit. I need like Radioactive.
Right. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Now, what I like about this is the teamwork, okay? So you got TT, who's scared as hell. Mm-hmm. This is their first bank they about to rob. Mm-hmm. They didn't case it, so they don't know shit about it. Cleo, let's get it popping. Mm-hmm. You got Stoney, who's like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. And you got Vivica Fox that walk in like, y'all ready? If y'all not, I'm still starting it. Let's get it popping. Everybody get on the floor. TT was like, nah, fuck this. I ain't ready. I'm out.
Like, TT
Everybody else was like, all right, we in.
TT shook the spot. She got up out of there. She wanted part of that. She was out.
She dipped quick.
But you know what? I love the background music during this scene because, it looked like such an amateur first time robbing the bank. You got the cool little piano music in the background. Like, just hurry up and just
Like,
get your, get your shit and get going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think the background music to that was great, and it shows that they could actually pull it off. You know, they get back to their getaway. TT shows up, but in true, first of all, I like this scene too because it goes back to what I said about the camaraderie and the sisterhood of what they had going on, right? Even though TT shook the spot, she wasn't down for the initial robbery. They still gave her a cut.
Yeah. That sisterhood, that sisterly bond.
Yeah. Yep. I love that because, once again, TT needed that. Her baby's gone, you know what I'm saying? But she got cold feet. She couldn't rob. But even though she got cold feet and she couldn't rob, they still broke her off, and I still love that scene.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. Because if it was us, you shook the spot, you ain't getting shit.
Like, hey, bro, you left. You ain't getting a damn thing from me.
Right.
I'll help you out, but you ain't getting no cut.
Exactly.
Shit.
You got our next scene, which I like. You got Jada Pinkett and Blair Underwood's first date.
First date.
Where she's starting to brag on him like, oh, you probably one of them cats that went to Harvard. He was like, actually, I did. You got a problem with that? Like, was beef. She was like, oh, I was just bullshit. He was like, no, I mean, I'm from the hood. I just got educated. Mm. He wants her to take him out to a spot in her hood. She was like, nah, bro, you ain't ready for that.
Yeah, she felt like he just wasn't about that life. And in a way, I felt she was justified to feel that way, because even I felt that way.
And then you got the cut scene. You got Detective Strode, mm-hmm. who is starting
to piece it all together.
To look at the pictures from the first bank that they robbed. He's putting things together. He's going off on a hunch. And he gets shot down on him following his hunch when he went to his supervisor. Because mm-hmm. he was like, remember the chick that was the bank teller that got fired from the first robbery? Well, she hangs with the kid we shot up. And I think the kid's sister is a bank robber. They got strong similarities.
Yeah. Right.
He got shot down for that. But he still did it anyway. As a detective should. So, follow his hunch.
Let me ask you this.
Started stalking him.
After that scene, when he started to piece stuff together, I don't know what version of the movie you saw. I watched the extended cut.
I got the director's cut.
Yeah. So, after the Strode scene, we get Stoney and Cleo pretty much talking about becoming, a product of their environment. Which, I'm mad this scene was cut. It wasn't even a long scene. It was just, I'm mad that this scene was cut because it really does show they're not out just for the money and they're just trying to get money. They really are. Even Cleo puts on this front like she just doesn't give a fuck, but she does represent the very issue that's wrong with that community. You know what I'm saying? Stoney does as well. They're two people, they're backed into a corner and they have to do what they have to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that scene was so strong, and for it to be cut out of the theatrical release, I was like, what the hell? That could have really hit home with some people,
Yeah. Them sitting at work, and she was like, what do you see yourself in 5 years? And Cleo was like, shit, I see myself in the hood. This is where I belong.
I'm not thinking about 5 years.
You don't belong here. Now, I do. That was a strong scene.
And then they're talking about the second robbery.
And this is where friendships begin to fall. Cleo pulled the strap after... Okay, so what happened was, right?
Right.
They got the 12K. Everybody stayed cool except Cleo. Cleo then went and got her 6'4" Impala, boosted up. Mm-hmm. She done went and bought Ursula's mute ass some brand new lingeries. And she broke. She ain't been to work in 3 weeks. Luther done fired that ass. Mm-hmm. And Ursula is just chilling with no voice box, no vocal cords, no nothing. She
don't say shit the whole movie. Oh my God.
She don't say nothing the whole movie.
I've never seen a human
She pissed me off.
I'm like, you don't say. And it was funny. The movie actually addressed the fact that Ursula don't say shit. What, she mute or some shit?
Exactly. But it not once, but twice.
Exactly. Twice. Cleo
out here wilding now that she done got $3,000 in her pocket. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the girls was telling her, like, you need to go back to work. Luther done fired you. And, you know, she was like, I ain't going nowhere. We gonna do another hit on these banks. And Stoney said, I ain't doing nothing. Cleo pulled the strap out, put it right on her cheek. And it was hilarious the way Cleo went from thug life to straight bitch when Stoney slapped the Spanx off her face.
Yeah, well, fuck you. So, okay, so they get past that, and this is when she goes to see good old black oil bag hair with Blair Underwood, and you know,
don't do the bros like that. Bro.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, the man puts like armor all in his waves. I'm telling you, and she's pretty much telling him her problems, but not as direct as he would hope. But he does make a good point. You don't beef over your friends over money. You don't lose your friends over money. You know, God forbid me and my best friends ever got into it over money. You know what I mean? So he definitely made a good point.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. And is that when the second robbery happens, or is that before the love scene?
Yeah.
The second robbery.
Yeah, no, that's the second robbery.
All right, second robbery.
All right, so they go ahead and do the second robbery. They did it with good precision, but at bad timing. Mm-hmm. The second robbery went out smooth, but they had a homeless guy interfering with a citizen outside of the bank. And it was like 3 or 4 police officers outside the bank. Mm-hmm. They're out. They're done. They done grabbed as much money as they could. And they waiting on Cleo to come through and pick them up, but they can't go through the front. Cleo, thug life, drove through the window. Mm-hmm. Picked them up. They dipped out. Came out smooth. $300K.
$300K. Now, the one thing I do want to say about this scene, and we'll move on. That homeless guy and the police thing was already happening as soon as they pulled up. Why leave the getaway car there?
Good question.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why leave it there? When as you pull up, you see the homeless guy creating a stink, and then you see the bike cop is going to run over to assist. Why leave the getaway car there? Especially when you could possibly hear the bike cop saying, you know what? We need backup for this old homeless guy. And now you got 2 or 3 other squad cars going to pull up for this one homeless guy. So why leave the getaway car there?
That's a good question.
That's all I'm saying.
Definitely didn't think about that.
That could possibly be in takeaways. But anyway, moving on.
Don't worry. I got some questions for you takeaways.
So we get to, of course, another episode of Black in Love with Blair Underwood's character and Stoney. And this is when we get the love scene to the smooth sounds of Don't You Wanna Be? That song played throughout my young life up until my adult years.
That was definitely an iconic song. It'll make you remember. It gives you that nostalgia when
of the
hear
movie.
That song.
But on a more personal note, I've always wanted to do things to that song. Don't tell nobody. I'm just saying. I just thought one day I had the pleasure of playing that song for that special lady, and it's gonna go down. So we blow past the love scene, and then we get to Luther's janitorial, where they learn the money's gone. The $200K
they stashed it at the building they were in, and went into work like everything was cool. And they meet Leroy, his janitorial staff, and they was like, "Oh, okay." And then it dawned on them.
Luther split.
They said, "Where's Luther?" "Oh, Luther packed up. He out the business." And it dawned on them. Our money just got.
Yep, $200K gone.
They go holler at Black Sam, tell him, he got twisted. Luther done took their bread and his interest.
Mm-hmm. That scene with Black Sam is hilarious because Dre got instantly thugged. He was like, you know what? I think I know where he's staying at. And then as they go figure out what's going on, Dre hit him with that, "I got something for that ass, baby." It was Black Sam.
Hey, his voice got real deep on that part.
You know?
Got something for that ass,
Got something
baby.
for that ass,
Like,
baby.
damn, nigga, your voice was not that deep earlier.
Well, hey, man. So that's when we get to that hotel and we get the most nastiest sex scene I've ever seen. You got greased up Luther and some chick he's with. And he's just doing the thing. And like you said, Luther done splurged. He's treated himself.
Luther had Cristal.
He's treated himself
He
very
done bought
well.
him Rolexes.
Mm-hmm. Luther
could have got
splurged.
him a better hotel room.
Man, I would have went somewhere maybe downtown. You know, maybe not somewhere around the way where motherfuckers could find me. But, you know, that's just me, though.
They trying to get Luther to tell him where the money at.
Mm-hmm.
Luther pulls his little revolver out on Cleo. TT done upgraded from a girl to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Took Luther out to save Cleo. And then they take the hooker's ID for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure she ain't see nothing when she go see the cops.
Because she gonna see the cops.
And then what do we know? The next day, Cleo done got picked up by the police and put in a lineup.
Mm-hmm. Which is another scene that was crazy because once we do get to that lineup and we see the hooker, pretty much being forced by trigger happy boss hog partner. Look at the lineup. They can't see you, but you can see them. Is that the one who shot Luther? And as they're turning to the right, Cleo lets her know, I still got your shit. Right?
Top pocket.
In a typical police... Now, I've never been in a police lineup, and I would assume you haven't either. I've never had to go to a police station to look at a lineup. So, I can only really base this judgment off of what I see in the movies. And I do believe it's a good 5 people in that lineup room, if I'm not mistaken, as far as the cops-wise, right? And then
yeah, it's supposed to be. I mean, I honestly don't know personally. Like you, I only go off of the movies.
Right. If you have cops looking at this lineup, as the witness is looking at this lineup, hoping that she will identify somebody in this lineup, and then you tell them to turn to their right, and the first thing we can obviously see is the one chick pointing at her pocket twice, let her know I got something in here, so you better not say nothing. Where's the police work? Y'all didn't see that?
No. How about the fact that they grabbed her face and pushed it closer to the screen like she couldn't see? Look at her!
Look at her!
Look at her!
Is that the one who
you see Luther's killer?
That was funny. Like, may I go now? So, obviously, they let Cleo go. And Cleo makes her way back to the safe house, which, Stoney and Frankie and TT are waiting on her. And it's time. It's time to go for that big one. That big score. And get the fuck out of Dodge.
Downtown Federal.
Mm-hmm.
So they go ahead and go get breakfast. Ain't nobody got no money for breakfast. But Cleo pulls out the new mask she just went and copped.
Mm-hmm.
They go ahead and do Downtown Federal.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown Federal is where it all happens. Stoney's on the way to Downtown Federal, and she calls her dude, Blair Underwood, and tells him to meet her at the little spot they went to before.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, that's right. That's his name, Keith.
Right. But see,
and then,
but at this time, Strode and the LAPD are at the bank letting them know, listen, they're coming through and they're knocking off everybody. So if they come through here, this is who they are. And the security tapes are so great, apparently. Even Keith can look at it and like, that's Stoney. What the hell? He keeps it to himself, and obviously right on time, Stoney calls to let him know, like, listen, I need you to meet me over here. And I think that was cool because she at least wanted to get him out the bank.
Wanted to make sure he was safe.
Make sure he was safe.
They ready to set it off. Everybody's on. Everybody's on point. So Keith is gone. He's looking for Stoney at the little restaurant. Stoney is at the bank setting it off. And then Strode and his partner get the silent alarm call right after they left. Bust that U-turn. It's about to go down. So Strode and his partner, they come in. Frankie, Vivica A. Fox, is in the car. She in the getaway car waiting. I like this because Strode was actually able to effectively calm everybody down, minus Cleo, and get them to take their guns and put it down. Well, and then what do you have?
Yeah. You're right, because at this time he was able to get Stoney to calm down, to get TT to put down the gun. Cleo wasn't going for it. You're right, but it was calming. I think he could have calmed Cleo down. All of a sudden, here comes I want to be the hero. Officer Doof comes by and just starts shooting.
And who he hit?
He hit TT, man.
Why you gotta hit TT, bruh? She just wanted to get her son.
Which sucks too, because it definitely now creates the first like timid moment. The first moment of oh, I can't believe that. When they're breaking out, they're making their escape to get back to the original getaway car. And Stoney is holding TT, trying to console her. They want to hurry up and get to the getaway car so they can get to the hospital to drop TT off at least. TT died.
In her arms, bro. She died in her arms.
Granted, when TT died, it hurt. But that's not my hurt death yet. But R.I.P. TT. So they leave her there. And they got to break out because the cops is on their ass. They get to the getaway car. They take off. They're now on the run.
They on the run. And the Chevy 6-4 sitting real low. TT done got left in this truck. And Cleo gets the smart idea. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, hide up under the bridge. Mm-hmm. All right? Fucks with Cleo. Because Cleo was like, look. Y'all stand up against the wall. I'ma dart out and pull them away from y'all, man. I ain't gonna make it out this joint. Y'all be out. Catch up later. She did the iconic, I'll catch up later.
I'll catch up with you later. You know damn well you're not gonna catch up with me. Nah. You're not gonna catch up with me.
Cleo should have watched Scream. She should have watched Scream. And she should have known that when you say, I'll be back, you ain't coming back.
But, and that scene is also hard to watch because Stoney hugs Cleo tight because she knows.
I thought that was like an unusual death grip hug she gave her.
Nah, not at all, because she knew it was going to be a 50-50 shot. Cleo will make it out of this alive. You know what I mean? So really what Cleo did was she sacrificed herself so that they can get away, so Frankie and Stoney can get away. Right?
Well, she definitely sacrificed.
Obviously. And then once they break out, and then Cleo... This is now listen. When I told you that there's a death in this movie that every time I see it, it chokes me up. Damn it, it's Cleo. It's Cleo.
I know.
Hands down, it's Cleo.
I have to disagree though.
No. I'm gonna prove my point. Goddamn it. Okay. The way this scene is shot, F. Gary Gray creates this tension to the point to where Cleo is getting ready to die. There is no getting around that. Cleo's gonna die, right? Mm-hmm. So she, looking around, she breaks out. She's driving, and she's, coming up on the police barricade, and they see it, and then they just start blasting. You can hear the music in the background, day after day. That shit, like the music in the the music in the background creates that scene. The music sets that scene so perfectly because it's nothing happy that's getting ready to happen. Cleo's getting ready to die.
I wonder how do they pick their scores, because that song was a little too perfect.
I mean, it
was a little too perfect for her death. TT ain't getting no song.
It was quick, you know what I'm saying? But Cleo, Cleo had a song because Cleo's a pivotal character. So, as they shoot up the 6-4. We're supposed to believe that Cleo is gone, but they still keep the camera on her, so she ain't going out with a bang. And she go out like a motherfucking G because she opens up that 6-4 door and she gets out and she gets to blasting. They put like 30 more bullets in her. Hands down, that scene is effective. Very much so.
Now that they done lit up Cleo, we go ahead and move on over to Frankie. Frankie and Stoney, they done split up. Mm-hmm. They gonna meet back. I believe they were supposed to meet at the bus to go to Mexico, wasn't it?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the plan? The initial plan?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they were going to meet up. Detective Strode
finds Frankie. Yep.
Finds Frankie. I agree with Frankie in their conversation. Because Frankie was like, y'all set me up on some bull that I had no control over. I got fired because of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you tell me what is
the procedure
when you got a motherfucking gun to your head.
Word.
And she tried to run.
And of course, they put a bullet in her real quick. But you know what? I think Frankie got her. I'm not gonna say her comeuppance because it's not a comeuppance. What Frankie got is a sense of maybe even pride. Maybe I'll say it's pride because she's been the victim literally this whole time, and she finally became the villain.
Yeah.
And so I also like the scene because once Frankie is killed, Strode looks up only to see the bus that's moving mighty slow. You can still make it to the bus to get Stoney. But
that joint was only doing like 2 miles per hour.
So he obviously sees Stoney on the bus that's going like a good 5 miles an hour. You can walk to it if you wanted to. Sees Stoney and just lets her go. And I don't know if he did that because everything leading up to that point, you already killed the girl's brother.
I got something for you. You ready?
What's up? What's up?
Listen.
What is that?
That's your song. That's Cleo.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So we're now in Mexico.
I had to one time for you.
Right. So we're now in Mexico, and Stoney is pretty much reminiscing of what all just took place, and of course the good times that they had as a group. And now she's by herself, and she cuts the braids. So you see her becoming a new woman, if you will.
Now I got a question for you.
What's up?
When she cut her braids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did she cut her braids and go right into Tales from the Hood, Tales from the Crib, Demon Night?
Hell if I know.
Think about it. Tales from the Crib, Demon Night was a movie Jada was in.
Yeah, but Jada also had the low cut for Low Down Dirty Shame too, which I do believe came before this.
Good point. Good point. Forgot about Low Down Dirty coming out before.
Yeah.
Gonna have to play gambles on that one.
So at the end, Stoney gets away. The end.
The end. Definitely.
Set it off 20 years ago. Now listen, before we get into takeaways, did you see this movie in theaters?
Negative.
You didn't? When was the first time you seen it?
Now, I honestly didn't see Set It Off until like 2 years after it came out. Mm-hmm.
Now, my first time seeing it was definitely on VHS. And our parents let us watch anything. So when I first seen it, the only thing we couldn't watch was the actual sex scene. But I wanted to see some Jada Pinkett butt. I've always thought Jada Pinkett was just the most gorgeous thing ever. So I wanted Jada Pinkett butt.
All you needed was the silhouette.
Yeah, but whatever. Let's get into takeaways, man. So for those of you who are new to the show, takeaways is the part where we like to get into our awards category. We like to pick out our That Guy Award, our That Chick Award, the This Fool Award, the Cut That Out Award, as far as the scenes that don't need to be there. And then we also have our Iconic Movie Moment Award, the BTTC Iconic Movie Moment Award. So, Kay, you was gone last week. I'm going to let you kick this off. Who's getting your That Guy Award?
Luther was that guy. I ain't gonna lie. Luther was talking to these chicks any all kinds of crazy.
Disrespectful.
He jacked them for their bread. Actually, Luther has 2 awards.
2 awards?
Luther has, he has this guy award, and then he has the Fool Award. Because Luther should have known that Cleo was about that life.
True.
And she was going to come for that ass.
But he was 200K up, so I think he was blinded by the money.
He was blinded by the money. That's what makes him a fool, because Cleo was going to get that back.
Okay. Who's getting your That Chick award?
I give it to all four of them, but TT gets the most improved. I give her the most improved player award, because TT was soft, timid. She was willing to take an ass whooping. When they wanted to cut her, when they didn't want to cut her in on the first heist, she was like, you know, if you want to whip my ass, then come on, let's get it over with. But I need that money.
But like,
you gonna take an L for the bread?
That's for the baby. That's for the baby.
Right. And then, you know, by what was it? The second heist, she got the drop on that cop. Mm-hmm. And then the third one, she was in it. So, you know, she's improved. So I give TT the most improved player.
Okay, that's not.
I give, you know, I got some extra awards to give out, like the ugliest death. Cleo got the ugliest death.
No. We're not gonna speak that. Okay.
That's your favorite.
What are you cutting out? That's the question. What are you cutting out?
I think I could have cut out Nate Andrews' sex scene.
Oh,
because they could have made it different. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't have to show him and her getting it in. She could have just been like in the shower scrubbing real hard, and it would still gave the same effect.
Nah,
or she could have walked out. She could have walked out his crib with her clothes messed up.
Nah, that just looks slutty.
You know, it would have gave the same effect.
Nah, that just looks slutty.
But what I need them to add, because it threw me off. When did they split up the money on the third bank heist?
I don't think they did.
I need them to add that.
I don't think they did.
But see, they did, because everybody had their own bag.
I think because,
like, if you watch it, when they left out, Cleo is the only person to grab a bag. But when Vivica and Stoney was running, they had their own bag. So when were the bags split up? When did they go over who got what?
In between takes, basically.
You know what I mean? I need them to add that in.
All right, so what's getting the iconic movie moment?
Iconic movie moment goes to Cleo, hands down.
But Cleo what?
In her lowrider, Cleo's death scene is the iconic moment of this movie. Mm-hmm. Like, whenever I think of Set It Off, I think of Cleo being surrounded by cops, where she dropped the hydraulics on it, and everybody cocked their guns, and she inches that joint back up bit by bit.
Okay.
And then peels out on them, going through the barricade. Like, Cleo, it's the iconic movie.
Okay. So, my That Guy award is going to Black Sam. I think Black Sam, just his whole aura is just a badass motherfucker. He's a gun runner in Inglewood, I'm assuming. And I just like his whole thing. He's only in the movie for like maybe at the very most 3 minutes. But those 3 minutes, I liked his. I've always enjoyed watching that character. Now, he was the connect when it comes down to getting the heat to, you know, knock off these banks. So I've always loved that Black Sam little cameo by Dre. That Chick award goes to Stoney. You wanna know why? Because Jada Pinkett is fucking gorgeous. That's it. I ain't gotta say nothing else. I'm gonna move past that. This Fool award goes to Strode's partner, Trigger Happy Boss Hog Ella Joyce. I felt like she just wanted to shoot somebody really bad. And, you know,
but never got the chance.
So she was just really pissed about it, you know. Even when Frankie ran up, she was like, "What the fuck? I want the goddamn shooter. Shit." You know. But, and the cut that out moment, I'm gonna have to say, is gonna be the asshole perhaps joke that Strode threw out earlier in the movie. It was just corny.
You know why that's funny? Because nobody else laughed.
Nobody else laughed.
Nobody laughed.
Because it was a corny ass joke.
He was like, fuck you guys. I don't care. That's still funny.
Iconic movie moment for me is Cleo's death because the music is great. The way that it's shot is great. It hits you right in the feels. I loved it. And I'm not going to say nothing else more about it. Cleo's death is what made me love Set It Off. Straight up.
Yep, definitely.
Definitely
the iconic moment.
Takeaways. There it is. So, we're at Quick Hits. For those of you who are new to the show, Quick Hits is the part of the show where we go over the fun facts about the movie. In this case, Set It Off. We're going to talk about as to what made them do that, or why would they consider that, or why didn't they put that scene in there, or why would they put that scene in there, or just fun facts you didn't know about the movie. So, Kay, are you ready for Quick Hits?
Oh, you know I'm ready, man. You come up with some good stuff that I don't be knowing about.
Let's do it. Film debut of Kimberly Elise. She was discovered by Dale Pollock at a restaurant where she was a waitress. That's how most actresses and actors are found nowadays.
So she was a waitress when she got hit.
Mm-hmm. And look at her now. In the first drafts of the script, the character of Stoney was addicted to crack. This was later written out of the script.
Good, I'm glad. Can you see Jada Pinkett?
No,
on the crack.
I don't understand.
That won't work out.
I didn't understand. Like, she's already going through enough. Her brother gets shot. He don't get into college. She got robbed. She got to slut the butt out. She got to be addicted to crack too. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, that would have made her. That would have been a real troubling life.
Yeah. No, we're cool. We're good. This was F. Gary Gray's second feature film, and New Line Cinema selected him as the movie director because of the success of Friday.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, totally. I think after this was The Negotiator, I want to say, which is another dope movie I'm looking forward to talking about.
Dope movie.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to watch that this weekend.
Yeah, totally. Dr. Dre made his first on-screen appearance as a weapons dealer in this movie, which we just talked about. Shout out to Black Sam.
Mm-hmm. Holding it down with the shotties.
Holding it down, Black Sam. The movie's soundtrack was a huge hit. It reached number 4 on the Billboard chart. And when the movie was released on pay-per-view, New Line Cinema gave viewers the soundtrack when they ordered The Long Kiss Goodnight, another movie made by New Line Cinema.
Dope. Another Samuel L. Jackson movie like The Negotiator.
Yes.
Dope.
Are we in 20 years for Long Kiss Goodnight? I don't know.
We just
Probably. I have to look into that. I love that movie.
Yeah, they don't know about Charlie Baltimore, man. They don't know about them.
Man, okay. Official body count for Set It Off, 12.
Really? Is 12 people died?
Yeah, including TT, Cleo, Frankie, the cops.
Let me think. So you got the 2 dudes in the first scene.
The 2 dudes,
the brother died. It was the brother, his friend, and a cop. So that make 5.
Cleo, TT, Frankie.
That makes 9.
Then you got
the bank teller with Frankie.
Teller, that's 10.
That makes 10.
Yeah. Who are the other 2? Luther
makes 11.
Yep.
We're missing one.
We are missing one. The cop that shot TT.
He did get killed.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's 12.
That makes 12.
That's 12 right there. All right. Jada Pinkett Smith wanted to play the part of Cleo, but the producers wanted her for the role of Stoney.
You know what? I don't see her. I mean,
she's too damn small to play Cleo. I think Queen Latifah was perfect to play Cleo. She was born to play Cleo.
So, Long Kiss Goodnight. Actually, if I'm reading this right, next year.
Oh. We'll be back next year.
Nope. We passed it.
Oh. Damn it, Kay got me all excited for nothing.
October 11, 96.
Damn it, Kay got me all excited for nothing.
Yeah. I was reading the gross because it said January 10, 97.
Well, man,
so that's what threw me off.
This is the last BTTC of 2016. And we're going out with Set It Off. We just set it off. How you feeling about this, man?
Hey, man. You know, Set It Off is one of those dope iconic movies. I honestly believe if they did a remake, it'll probably be just as good. I don't know who they would get. I'm gonna say it would definitely depend on their cast, but this is definitely a movie that they could remake with a good cast, and it'll just be equally as good.
Now it
won't beat the classic, but it'll be something I go and watch.
I've always looked at Set It Off as a movie that didn't, we've seen big robbery movies before, but we've never seen a movie of this type of flavor. And I think it's fine the way it is. I wouldn't want a remake necessarily to Set It Off. I would take a movie that's similar to Set It Off, inspired by Set It Off, but a Set It Off remake, I'm cool on, because for that time, it did what it was supposed to do. So,
yeah, but let's see, 96, and this is 20 years later. Some movies deserve an anniversary. Not necessarily, I want to say, an upgrade, but...
Do you want a sequel? Set It Off again?
Hey, you know what? A sequel would be dope, but they killed off everybody.
Set It Off some more?
I could deal with Set It Off some more. That'll work. You got Blair Underwood coming down to Mexico to see Stoney, and then,
he wants his girl back, man.
Do a Bonnie and Clyde spinoff.
Set It Off some more. 2025. I'm looking forward to it. So listen, we have to tell the listeners how much we appreciate them for riding with us. We kind of just started this thing on a whim, and we're going to get it together. We're going to keep the content coming, keep it a very tight show, a very fun show. We got a bunch of guests coming through to hang out with us, to hop in the DeLorean with us. Kay, it has been a blast doing this with you, my man. We're going to go into 2017 Indeed. With some big shit, brother.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, let me speak to the subscribers, to our listeners real quick. Mm-hmm. We love y'all. We hope y'all have a beautiful beginning to your new year. We hope y'all stay safe for the holidays. New Year's is this weekend coming up.
Saturday.
Turn up, but be safe.
Absolutely. Turn up, be safe. Go see a shitload of movies. Pop in the old Blu-rays.
You see any new movies this past weekend?
Only thing I checked out was Assassin's Creed and Passengers, both of which sucked. Which leads me in to another promo real quick. Look out for my top 10 best and worst movies of 2016, premiering on the 30th and 31st. So Friday and Saturday, you're going to get Jay Alonzo's top 10 favorites and then top 10 bullshit of 2016. Bringing back the videos for you guys. Real Talk is back. I cannot wait to do it for you. Kay, let the good people know where they can find you, man.
Man, look, I'm tweeting now. It's slow, but I'm tweeting, okay? Y'all gotta be patient. Mm-hmm. Find me on Twitter, PHA1914, Instagram, PHA1914, on Facebook, I am K Williams. K-A-Y Williams, okay? Like, subscribe, give me feedback, what y'all think of the show, what y'all want to hear. Give me some feedback, insight. Let me know. Where can they find you, Jay? You
can find me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, any other social media site that you can find somebody on, except the ones I'm not supposed to be on. I am Jay Alonzo. Talk to me. I talk back. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to everybody at Beat Network, Los, Kev with the noise, Truth and Lex Love with Light Water for Chocolate. Everybody with those guys.
Let me say something real quick.
What's up?
So, I definitely listen to everybody on Beat. Mm-hmm. All right? You got Los and Kev and the noise. They keep me in tune with the news. I love doing what I do with you. Mm-hmm. But, bruh, Truth and Lex Love, they got me hooked like it's a Game of Thrones episode. I'm just keeping it real. I be waiting, I kind of want to binge listen to their stuff, but I'm like, dang, I gotta wait till next Friday.
Yeah. I mean, this is episode 7 for us, so we're able to kind of binge through our shit now, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Even though I'm mad, I have to binge and listen to the one episode of Scream that I wasn't on because I was sick.
I mean...
And I was like, dang, this sucks because I wanted to be on that.
Shit happens. It just happens that way. So,
hey man, but shout out to Jace.
Shout out to Jake's battle. Shout out to everybody. You guys have a safe, prosperous new year. Let's leave the bullshit behind in 2016 and let's kick off 2017 with a fucking bang. I am Jay Alonzo.
It's your boy K Williams.
That's what it is. We out this day, man. Peace.